この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Hello everyone, in today's video I will be talking about why some engines need a stage injection system, or some just call it stage injection. It's quite simple really if you just piece it together simply, meaning that, as the name implies, it's just additional fuel for the engine. Why, you may ask? Well, this is all due to the fact that there is not enough fuel being injected into the cylinders with just one injector, so a second one is then staged in to add to the fuel flow, essentially meeting the fuel needs of the engine. Well, that is just for the injector, and the fuel pump should also be considered, because if the fuel pump cannot supply the injectors with the fuel that the engine requires, then no matter how big the injector, or how many of them for that matter, they cannot supply the engine with the amount of fuel that they are designed to discharge due to a lack of volume and pressure being produced by the fuel pump. I have just put that into perspective, since the fuel system in its entirety should be looked at when you would want to increase a specific power output that your engine produces. Well, that's one aspect when it comes to modified engines. The first aspect correlates to an engine that has turbocharger or supercharger. Well, this is where this question comes in, right? What about for natural aspirated engines? Now you're right to question this, since for natural aspirated engines, the same is true, and it is to extract as much power as possible. But instead of just increasing the fuel amount being injected, a very important aspect here comes into play, and it is how the fuel is being incorporated in the combustion process. What I mean by this is that to extract more power from an engine that does not use any form of turbo or supercharging is to optimize the way the fuel is introduced into the engine. That is why you see some natural aspirated engines used for racing having a set of injectors close to the intake ports, and as well as a set close to the intake manifold, or in some cases at the top of the velocity stacks of individual throttle bodies. Toyota has also incorporated this in their 825A FKS engine, but instead of outright power, they were chasing fuel efficiency. This is another side benefit of having two injectors per cylinder, is to get a more homogeneous fuel mixture during light load and steady state highway driving. Because similar to the outright racing engines, or even modified ones, there may be a lack of fuel being injected to have a complete combustion of the fuel and air charge being introduced in the engine. This is due to the fact that as the engine comes up to temperature, the intake manifold also increases in temperature, leading to the fuel, whilst it's being delivered from the injectors through the intake manifold before being transported into the combustion chamber, being burned off a little bit before being used for the combustion event. Let's not forget that the engine management system should also be capable of running stage injection, because if not, all of our ideas of using stage injection would be all for naught. In conclusion, stage injection has huge benefits, but it also comes with its drawbacks, as it adds complexity to your fuel system, i.e. wiring, more injectors, and an ECU that can handle the task. Although in my opinion the benefits certainly outweigh its drawbacks, for the potential benefits you can get by running stage injection on your engine. I hope that you guys got some value out of today's video. Please do leave me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. This way you won't miss out on any future videos. If you have questions, please do leave them down in the comments below, and I will try and answer them to the best of my capabilities. If you can, do consider supporting my channel on Patreon for bonus content and more.